So, I've just moved house. I've got an awesome new kitchen and a cool video backdrop. I've also been massing for like 8 months now, and I'm getting a little bit chunky, so it might be time for a mini cut. And given the fact I have this new cool kitchen to show off, what better time for a little full day of eating series. But this time it's going to be a little bit different to the things you've seen from me before, because you probably know me about all of those anabolic style full days of eating, all the recipe videos, all of that. But if you've been watching my last few videos, you'll know that my thought process around the whole anabolic diet, anabolic lifestyle way of eating has pretty much done a 180. So now I'm going to show you the way I'm going about things now. Still very high volume, focused on low calorie foods, but we're not going to be trying to make everything taste like pizza and ice cream. It's just going to be healthy, whole foods that are low calorie so you can eat a lot of them. Broccoli, not pancakes. So today I'm going to be taking you through my mini cut diet, which is not anabolic. It's going to be a 4-week aggressive mini cut, and this is going to be week 1. A 4-week mini cut is very different to your traditional cut, so the calories and the macros you see in this I would not recommend unless you're doing a very brief aggressive mini cut to then get back into massing. So I'll put my calories and macros I'm following for week 1 up on the screen here. And just know that this is over a 1,000 calorie deficit for me. Do not do this unless you know what you're doing with a mini cut. The rules of a mini cut are very different to the rules of a traditional cut, so if you'd like me to go over more detail on how and why I set up mini cuts for myself and my online clients, let me know in the comment section below and I can always run through that in a future video. There's also a few important things about mini cuts that I want to address in this first video of the little mini series, because I feel like it's important to get those like disclaimers out there. But we have meals to get to, so I'll get to those things later on in the video. For now, let's go into meal 1. Alright, for meal 1, we have got this big old scramble stir fry kind of plate thing going on. So in this, we've got 200 grams of white potatoes. We've got 200 grams of courgette or zucchini for you Americans. We've got 200 grams of mushrooms and 200 grams of egg whites. Why 200 grams of everything? Because it makes it easy to remember and stops me having to check my phone whilst I'm cooking. That is literally why. But as you can see, it is a large amount of food. It is very enjoyable. But here's something I want to touch on. It's not too enjoyable. I found that when I was having something super highly palatable, something really, really sweet as my first meal, if it was like French toast for first meal, I would then get super hungry and cravey for sweet stuff going forward, or really good tasting stuff going forward. Whereas if I've got something that's like a 6 or 7 out of 10, I'm then not as cravey going through the rest of the day. I had to put that plate down, it was burning my hand. So that is the meal 1. I'll put the calories and macros up on the screen here. And speaking of this area, I need your guys' advice on something. This is my living room, and as you can see, we've got this big empty space here, and I want to get some big artwork there, like some big fuck off 3-piece canvas, but I don't really know what to get. So if you have any suggestions of what I should get along that wall, drop them in the comments below. I'm going to go eat this meal 1, then we'll have a chat. Okay, so the first thing to address here is that calories are very low, and they are unsustainably low. But that's okay, because it's not meant to be sustainable. I only need to sustain this diet for 4 weeks. And those 4 weeks are supposed to be pretty tough. I'm going into it knowing it's going to be a 4 weeks that is a grind, that's a bit difficult. I'm going to be hungry, I'm going to be lethargic, but that is the price you pay for a mini cut. So the calories are super low, they are not sustainable, but they're not supposed to be sustainable. Mini cuts are short and aggressive. They are not a long-term fat loss solution for somebody that's already overweight. They are a temporary thing for somebody who is getting slightly to the higher end of their body fat set point and they want to bring things back, or their comfortable body fat set point and they want to bring things back down to a point where they can then continue massing. Essentially, a mini cut just creates further runway for bulking rather than long-term weight loss for somebody that is struggling with weight loss. So yes, I know the calories are too low. I did that on purpose because that's what we have to do here. Anyway, let's get to meal 2. Meal number 2, and it is that time of the day for bread and egg whites. Yes, it's French toast time. No, I haven't abandoned my roots as much as that. we are still sticking to the French toast. And if you are saying that eating bread and eating egg whites is anabolic, then I really don't care about your opinion, because whether I'm eating anabolic or not, I'm still going to make French toast. I love this meal. It is so damn good. We are literally just going to be using 6 slices of 50-calorie bread, 200 grams of liquid egg whites, 150 grams of unsweetened almond milk, some sweetener and some cinnamon. You know the deal by now. I'll put the calories and macros up on the screen here. And we are going to make meal 2 French toast. Oh, and you love to see it. 6 slices of French toast. Like I said, if you want to argue that this is anabolic, I don't really care, because I'm not going without it. I absolutely love it. It's the perfect meal for me right now. It tastes absolutely amazing, which is actually potentially a downside on a mini cut, because we're going to get to a point where we are hungry. Today is literally day 1, so you know, I'm not feeling any additional hunger. If anything, it's actually nice to eat a bit less food after I've been massing for so long. But when the hunger does kick up towards the end of the 4 weeks, it wouldn't surprise me if I end up swapping this out for something more voluminous and less tasty, because if I eat these 6 slices, I will then want another 6 slices, whereas if I ate, you know, the same macros but in plain chicken and broccoli, it's not going to have the same response in my hunger signals. So for now, we are sticking with the really tasty French toast, but later on down the line, we might have to say goodbye to it, but just temporarily. But that is meal 2. I'm going to go eat this. We'll chat a little bit more, and then it's time for meal 3. The next thing to mention is, yes, I know the fat intake in my diet right now is way too low. For a guy my size, 20-25 grams of fat per day is just not enough. Just straight up, I know that. It isn't healthy, it isn't sustainable, it isn't enjoyable, but just in my discussion about calories, it doesn't have to be, it doesn't need to be, because it's only a 4-week period. Pretty much all of the downsides of a low fat intake are based around chronically low fat intakes. Low fat over a long period of time. 4 weeks, you're not going to see many of those issues, if any. If you are, it's right towards the end, and then you will get straight back out of that. A mini cut gets in and gets out fast. You dip in, you dip out before you get any of those negative side effects of low fat, low calories, and so on. Essentially, a couple of weeks isn't going to hurt you in the long term, and if it does in the short term, suck it up. If you want to do this, you got to do it. Here we go, meal number 3, steaming like mad, as you can see, but we have an absolute ton of volume for the calories. We've got all of that butternut squash, which essentially tastes a bit like sweet potato, and it looks like sweet potato, but it is super low calorie. For this whole plateful, all of that, 500 grams, it's like 130 calories. So it's going to be super filling, super nutritious without all the calories. We've then got the broccoli. I love my broccoli. We've got our protein hit from the chicken breast. Very low fat, very filling. Should be really satisfying. I like to add some paprika and some cinnamon on top of the butternut squash. I don't know if that's weird or not, but try it, because if you haven't already, it is absolutely amazing. But yeah, this is meal number 3. I think I'm going to be stuffed after this, but towards the end of the week, when the hunger starts spiking up, I think I'm going to be grateful that this is in the meal plan. Yes, I'm following a meal plan. That's something else I might touch on. But anyway, I'm going to sit back in my new, lovely, comfortable armchair in my new place, which I'm absolutely loving. If you want to see a tour of the place, leave a comment. And I'm going to enjoy this meal once it stops smoking, because it literally will probably melt my mouth, I think. I'm going to end the clip here. Bye. And the last thing to touch on in today's video is that this diet will not retain muscle mass in the long term. If you see the rate of weight loss that I am doing in this mini cut, and you try and extrapolate that into a long-term traditional style cut, but at that mini cut rate of fat loss, you will lose a ton of muscle, I guarantee you that. Muscle loss is going to happen through a prolonged cut, pretty much regardless, especially if you are lower body fat levels, and it is going to be exacerbated by the size of the deficit. A longer cut, more muscle loss. A larger deficit, more muscle loss. The reason that I can get away with this really fast rate of weight loss is because it is just a 4-week period of time. Within those 4 weeks, you're not going to see muscle loss at nearly any level. Any amount of muscle loss you do see will come right back as soon as you start bulking again. However, if you then take that same rate of weight loss and add on a 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th week, every week you add, you are asking for more and more and more muscle loss. So like I said, do not do this as a way to get fat loss and stay lean whilst retaining muscle. Do this as a very temporary thing to create further room for massing. And finishing off with the last meal has got to be protein oats. As always, it is just by far my favourite way to finish the day. You can see we've got that golden hour lighting coming in. We've got a big bowl of protein porridge in our hands that is way too hot to be holding, and I'm trying not to wince on camera. But anyway, all we have in here is 95 grams of porridge oats, or rolled oats for the Americans. We have 5 grams of cocoa powder, 15 grams of a chocolate protein powder, 10 grams of PB2 powdered peanut butter, and some sweetener all mixed up. Let it cool down and it just tastes amazing. By far my favourite way to finish the day. The calories and macros for this meal will be up on the screen here. But anyway, I'm going to go enjoy my last meal of the day, feeling very satisfied on the first day of this mini cut. But we have 28 more days to go, so by the end of it, I'm expecting that to change. Hopefully this was helpful, and I'll see you in the last little bit. And that is week 1 out of 4 in my mini cut diet. I'm planning to show you updates each week on how things adjust and change throughout the period. But if everybody hates this video and nobody watches it, then maybe I won't. Who knows? I hope you like my new kitchen as much as I do. I hope you like this new backdrop as much as I do. I'm really excited to show off more on the place as we get around. Remember to let me know what you think I should put along the wall over the sofa here, because I really can't decide. I want something cool. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Make sure to subscribe and leave a comment below. Let me know what you thought. For more information about online coaching with Progressive Physique Coaching, top tier coaching, one-on-one, personalised, hit the top link in my description, or you can email me ashmaypt@gmail.com with any questions. Thanks for watching. Until the next one, see you later guys.